Hey, welcome back. You're in the C Space Studio with me, James Kotecki. We are at CES 2025, and joining us right now is Paul Newman, Managing Director of Tech at Future, which is a very CES futuristic sounding title, I must say. So let's explain to people what Future is and what Future's brand is all about.
Good start point. So I'm here to represent Future's consumer technology media brands. We are the largest technology consumer publisher in the United States and have been for the last 3.5 years, according to ComScore. We address 50 million users in the United States each month and 100 million worldwide. And our brands include really well-known mainstream technology titles like Tech Radar and Tom's Guide, which probably the majority of people would know, but also specialist brands like Tom's Hardware and Windows Central. But the thing that unifies all of those brands is that we produce trusted content based on authentic human expertise.
So your reporters, your staff, I assume, are all over CES. This is the place where you want to be.
Absolutely. We have a fleet of about 40 people out on the show floor in the various kind of locations, reporting on the latest developments and making sure that we make sense of what's happening here for our users.
And just for clarification, are you the managing director of the technology that powers this publishing company, or are you the managing director of the content of technology that you're talking about?
So I'm the managing director of the content of the technology that we talk about.
Yeah. And so what does CES 2025 mean for you then? What are some of the big trends that you're seeing, and how do you think about a show this size and scope at this moment?
So the two really important things for us when we attend CES, first of all, is to understand how the industry is changing and how the industry is evolving. And then we can contextualize that and make sense of it for our users and hopefully connect the industry more closely with their target consumers in doing so. The second aspect of it for us is very much about engaging with our industry partners. And it's really important that we take the opportunity to remind them that human intellect and creativity remains at the heart of what we do, and that's why we have an audience of 50 million trusted consumers in the United States and why we're a great platform for them to engage with to get their message across.
Human creativity, obviously really important. How much does AI play a role? I want to ask multiple questions about AI, obviously, but just first of all, how much does AI play a role in what you publish? How much are your reporters using AI to create content to augment what they do?
Yeah, great question. So I think full disclosure up front, we do not use generative AI to create any content at Future. And actually we've got some really strict policies in place to make sure that that can't happen even accidentally. We view AI very much as a keystone technology, not just for publishing, but a keystone technology for any industry in today's world and increasingly so. And what that means is that we think that AI should, can, and will be integrated into pretty much every stage of the workflow. So if it's a simple co-pilot for our journalists and our editors on the CMS side, which enables them to kind of work more effectively, then we'll integrate AI there. But equally at the opposite end of the equation, it could be a very large platform-wide implementation that helps something like recirculation across our network of sites. So AI is something that we will be embracing increasingly going forward. We've got two different types of AI integration on Future Tech sites. We've got what I call horizontal integrations and vertical integrations. And a horizontal integration might be a technology that's working in the background and is helping users to get more value from their visit, but they don't necessarily need to know that they're actually engaging with an AI product. But then you have a vertical integration, which might be the AI chatbot on our site, Tom's Hardware, Hammerbot, which is there to kind of help people with rich functionality discover the content on the site through natural language queries their way. So that's how we look at it.
But you mentioned earlier, kind of in the messaging to your partners, being very human, creative, forward. It sounds like you're still really pitching the idea that human creativity is still an essential value add here, a secret weapon, if you will, not so secret weapon. And are you finding that your partners really resonate with that?
I think it's incredibly important, and I think our partners understand that as well. Ultimately, we live in a world where trust is absolutely critical, particularly with media brands. We've had a few scares. I don't want to sort of dwell on the negative side of it, but maybe we've had a few scares in media over the use of AI and other areas of society where perhaps consumers haven't quite been comfortable about that. So we see those as kind of really enduring values that underpin the value in our business, And that helps us to engage with our partners and help them to kind of process their messages so that we can ensure that we stay relevant to our users, but we're also going at the same pace that they are.
I think you're exactly the right person to talk about this because you're at this extremely tech-forward company, you're serving a very tech-forward audience, and so you have these very explicit policies, though, in place around the use of generative AI. How do you think about creating those policies and those guardrails to make sure that you're using AI in a responsible and ethical way?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think the unifying characteristic of Future over the 40 years that we've been operating, it's our 40th anniversary this year, is that we've always operated under the golden rule: understand the needs of your readers and satisfy them. So the commitment that we've made during this new era of AI is to make sure that we regularly survey the attitudes of our consumers and our audience about how they feel about AI, and that helps us to inform what we do. And I think we're probably unique in terms of technology publishers that we run a quarterly AI sentiment tracker. So that enables us to get up-to-the-minute insights on how readers are thinking and feeling about AI.
Yeah.
And that's actually given us some pretty interesting kind of data so far. So the last research that we did showed that AI functionality was only 9th on a list of priorities for readers when they were thinking about making a purchase.
Oh.
And even when you kind of tightened that kind of net down to the real hardcore kind of early adopter techies, it was only 7th.
Wow.
64% of our users actually said they don't care if something is AI. What they care about is the real world benefits to them.
If it works.
Improves their life.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So we have to be the interlocutors, if you like, between the industry and between consumers. Consumers don't necessarily need to always know that AI is involved with something, but they do need to understand what the benefits of that are. And there are different market segments to address as well. You know, your really early adopters on really technical sites that we have an expectation that you're covering AI and using it. On the more generalist sites, people might have less experience and maybe even a little bit of fear still about what AI can do. So we have to look at all of those things very carefully. We flex in line with what the sentiments of our consumers are telling us. We've got some new research coming in January, later this month, which should give us an update on how things are kind of changing and evolving. So we'd expect to see that kind of position change. But if you go back to the kind of the journalistic kind of principles of it in terms of the editorial, I can't see a situation anytime soon where human creativity is going to be surplus to requirements.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty awesome track record when you look back through history.
Fascinating. I want to talk just for a moment about shopping and media and the intersection of what's happening there. What are you seeing as a publisher as far as how your customers or how your partners want to kind of make those connections?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I know you're not asking purely in the context of AI, but that's one area where I think we can see some real kind of like gains in terms of our brands and how we engage with our users. So if you look at our sites, our core strength is in product reviews. So the likes of TechRadar and Tom's Guide are hugely successful brands because they have a really strong presence in organic search and they deliver really highly qualified readers onto our site that then transact with an affiliate partner. What we're not so good at is the kind of more nuanced shopping journeys when perhaps people have a more complex requirement, or maybe they've got like a shopping list of items. So, for instance, they might be wanting to kit out a smart home with a suite of products, or they might be building a PC. One of the functionalities that we developed for our sister site in the women's lifestyle space, Who, What, Where, is a new chatbot called ISA, I-S-A, Intelligent Shopping Assistant.
Okay.
And ISA will actually build you a capsule wardrobe, or like a virtual makeup bag, if you like, based on the natural language queries that you type in, give you your shopping list, and then allow you to kind of transact with that. So I think what we're definitely going to be seeing more of is the personalization that AI can really help to kind of create to make those user journeys more kind of authentic and targeted. But also, if you look beyond AI, we see streaming video being a really big opportunity for us going forward. So we did a couple of experiments, or not necessarily experiments, but for the first time we deployed streaming video with partners during Labor Day on Tom's Guide with a partner called Sleep Number, which is mattress and bedding business in the States here, and also during the Black Friday shopping period. And that's a great way for us to transact with consumers that are maybe more visual, maybe a younger demographic that's more short-form social media oriented, but also to create value and transactions from our partners in doing so. So we definitely see a lot of excitement in that space.
Paul, you've mentioned a lot of future brands. I understand The Week is another one of your brands. I'm not sure if you work on that directly, but just a quick shout out to The Week. My family, we are huge fans of The Week Junior in our house. So I can attest to the quality of the content in that arena as well. And all of your insights have been fantastic today, Paul. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for watching. This is the C Space Studio. I am James Kotecki. This is CES 2025, and you are, hopefully, going to come back and watch a lot more of these conversations coming your way very soon. Stay with us.